welcome back to Vibe Vision, where today we're diving into a true piece of American automotive history, the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe. This car represents a moment in time when post-war America was booming, families were growing, and cars like this were more than just transportation. They were status, style, and a reflection of a changing society. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 51 Styleline Deluxe so special, from its exterior design to its performance and even a glimpse inside. The first thing that strikes you about the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe is its classic post-war styling. It's a car that wears its era proudly, with rounded curves, flowing lines, and a substantial upright presence on the road. By 1951, Chevrolet was still refining the Styleline series, which had first been introduced in the late 1940s, and the Deluxe trim represented the higher end of the lineup. What you'll notice immediately is how balanced the proportions are. The long hood, the smooth fenders, and the sweeping roofline that gracefully leads into the trunk. It's all very intentional, designed to convey sophistication without being flashy. At the front, the grille is unmistakably Chevrolet of the era. The wide chrome horizontal bars give it a bold look, flanked by simple but elegant round headlamps. The bumper is substantial, with a solid chrome finish that looks both protective and stylish. You'll also find Chevrolet's signature emblem proudly displayed at the center, a reminder of the brand's growing dominance in the early 50s. Chrome trim outlines much of the car, from the windows to the fenders, adding to the Deluxe's upscale character. The side profile is perhaps where the Styleline Deluxe shines the most. Those sweeping curves along the body reflect light beautifully, and the fender skirts at the rear give it a clean, streamlined look. Unlike many of its competitors, Chevrolet managed to strike a perfect balance between elegance and practicality. The Styleline Deluxe came in multiple body styles, sedans, coupes, and even convertibles. But regardless of the configuration, the design had a cohesive flow that remains timeless today. White wall tires paired with chrome hubcaps complete the picture of 1950s motoring elegance. Around back, the trunk is large and functional, something families of the era appreciated. But it's also framed by subtle tail fins, early hints at the fin craze that would dominate the later part of the decade. The taillights are modest in size, integrated neatly into the design without disrupting the overall flow. Again, the emphasis here is on smoothness, elegance, and a sense of confidence. Now, when it comes to performance, the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe wasn't a sports car by any means, but it was built to deliver reliable, comfortable driving. Under the hood, most Styleline Deluxe models came equipped with Chevrolet's trusty 216 cubic inch inline-six engine. This engine produced around 92 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much by today's standards, but in the early 1950s, it was more than enough for everyday driving. It was a workhorse engine, known for its durability and ease of maintenance. The power delivery was smooth thanks to the long-stroke design of the inline-six. It wasn't about raw speed, but about steady, reliable cruising. The top speed hovered around 80 miles per hour, though most drivers of the day would keep it comfortably at highway speeds of 55 to 60. Acceleration was modest, but the car's purpose wasn't performance thrills. It was about getting you and your family where you needed to go in comfort and style. In 1951, Chevrolet also offered two transmission options. The standard was a 3-speed manual gearbox, operated through a column shifter which gave drivers a connected mechanical feel. But for those who wanted a touch of modern convenience, Chevrolet's PowerGlide automatic transmission was available. This was a big deal at the time, as automatics were still relatively new to the market. The PowerGlide made the driving experience smoother and easier, particularly in city traffic, and it helped set Chevrolet apart from some competitors who were slower to adopt the technology. The ride quality of the Styleline Deluxe was another highlight. With a solid front suspension and leaf springs in the rear, it soaked up bumps fairly well for the era. Steering was manual and required some effort at low speeds, but once you were moving, the car handled predictably and confidently. The brakes were drum brakes all around, which required more distance to stop compared to modern cars, but they were effective for the time. Driving one today gives you an appreciation for how far automotive technology has come, while also highlighting the craftsmanship and mechanical charm of the early 50s. Fuel economy was respectable for the period, with the inline-six delivering somewhere around 15 to 18 miles per gallon. This made it affordable to operate for middle-class families. Another reason why Chevrolet remained a top-selling brand throughout the decade. Stepping inside the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe, you're greeted by a cabin that reflects the era's sense of style and optimism. The interior layout is simple but elegant, with a wide bench seat in the front and another in the rear, allowing the car to seat up to 6 passengers comfortably. The Deluxe trim level brought nicer materials, including upgraded upholstery options in cloth or vinyl, and additional chrome accents throughout the cabin. The dashboard is a work of art in its own right. Large round gauges dominate the instrument cluster, providing clear and easy-to-read information. The speedometer sits front and center, flanked by gauges for fuel, temperature, and other essentials. Chrome trim runs across the dash, giving it a polished look, and the 2-spoke steering wheel with the Chevrolet emblem in the center feels iconic. Convenience features by today's standards were minimal, but in 1951, things like a heater, AM radio, and even a clock were considered luxuries, and the Styleline Deluxe offered these to buyers who wanted a touch more comfort. The spaciousness of the cabin was another selling point. It felt open and airy, with good visibility thanks to the large windows. All in all, the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe wasn't about cutting-edge performance or radical styling. It was about refinement, dependability, and delivering an elevated experience to the average American family. Chevrolet knew its audience well, and the Styleline Deluxe struck the perfect chord between affordability and elegance. It offered enough chrome, enough style, and enough features to make you feel proud of your car, without pushing it into unattainable territory. Today, the 1951 Styleline Deluxe is cherished by collectors and enthusiasts as a symbol of early 1950s Americana. It represents a time when cars were built with simplicity and durability in mind, yet still carried a sense of pride and craftsmanship. Driving one now is like stepping back into history, hearing the hum of the inline-six, feeling the weight of the steering wheel, and enjoying the smooth, steady ride that made Chevrolet a household name. For many, the Styleline Deluxe evokes memories of family road trips, Sunday drives, and a period in American life filled with optimism and growth. It's more than just a car, it's a piece of cultural history, and its timeless design ensures it will always be admired wherever it goes. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe. It's a car that may not chase speed records or pack massive horsepower, but its charm lies in its elegance, reliability, and the role it played in shaping the automotive landscape of the 1950s. If you enjoyed this look back at a classic piece of Chevrolet history, make sure to stick with us here at Vibe Vision, where we bring the past to life one car at a time.